everyone, it's Sharonda from Payorwait, and today I'm going to be reviewing Shazam Fury of the Gods, which hits theaters this weekend. This film is directed by David F. Sandberg and it stars Zachary Levi, Helen Mirren, Lucy Liu, as this film is a continuation of the story of teenage Billy Batson, who upon reciting the magic word, Shazam! I thought the guys was gonna give me some like new superpowers or pay some bills, but I guess not. But as he is transformed into the adult superhero alter ego Shazam. So for those of you who are new to my channel, welcome, hello, so glad you came, I hope you stay. I tell you what I liked about the film, what I didn't like about the film, and should you pay your way to see Shazam Fury of the Gods in theaters this weekend. So before I get into my review, two things. I always forget, every time I do a comic book movie review, there are two end credit scenes. One mid-credit scene, one end credit scene. I told you, so I won't forget at the end of this video. Also, too, I am doing a fun giveaway. I got some Shazam goodies. That's why we dressed up and we decked out in our Shazam gear. I am giving one lucky subscriber the chance to win a fun Shazam pack of fun goodies. So just look in the comment section below at the pinned comment, and I'm going to tell you how you can get some of this gear as well. So let's get into what I enjoyed about Shazam Fury of the Gods. One of the things that I actually liked about this movie is I like the comedy. Not all the comedy, we'll get into that with some of the cons, but I like that a lot of the good comedic timing comes from some of the most unlikely characters in the film. Jaimin Hansu, he has some really cool scenes, and I really love that he got extra screen time in the sequel, because I think that he's like this character that you wouldn't expect to be funny, but a lot of the situations that we find his character in, I thought that he kind of stole the show in some of the scenes. I'm just saying, Jaimin, like, can I just see more comedy from you? Like, I know you was in What If, but I'm just saying, like, can we get a little bit more? Because I was here for it in this movie. But also, too, Faith Herman, like, literally, who plays young Darla, one of my favorite characters from the first movie, has some fun scenes in this movie as well, even though I feel like they could have gave my girl a little bit more screen time, but that's a story for a different day. Also, too, Helen Mirren as well. But really, the film, it really centers around Jack Dylan Grazer's character. He actually takes front and center in the sequel to Shazam. He is the kind of the emotional heartbeat of the film, as we're seeing with his character how he's dealing with being able to have superpowers and kind of for the first time wanting to be his own hero, wanting to be on his own, and kind of how he struggles with the whole phrase about how teamwork makes the dream work. My friend have a little bit of trouble with it, but I think that he's so funny in some of these lines. Like, you can really feel that he's at ease with his character. And I just thought that he was like the main scene stealer of the entire film. But also, too, one of the things that I did really enjoy about the first Shazam was how dark it was. I rewatched it before I went to go see Fury of the Gods, and I was just like, damn, like, this is like dark. I forgot how dark the film was, because when I said they gave no F's, they truly did not. And what I will say is I really love that in the first act of this film, for our villains, like, they were doing some things that I was just like, y'all know this is a family film, right? Like, I don't know if that sits right in my spirit, what you just had this person do. But as we get introduced to our villains, especially with Helen Mirren and Lucy Liu, I really love what they had to offer, specifically in the first act, because I felt like they just had them doing some very shady things, and I was kind of here for it. But I also love that we get to see more of, like, our big Shazams, okay? We saw at the end of the first film where we have that awesome scene where we see that, Shazam, or basically Billy, transfers part of his power to his siblings, and we see that we get our little big Shazams, our little Shazamly. And I like that we actually got to see more. Whether I agree if it was as much as I would have wanted to see, I do like that we get to see more of them actually using their powers in this film. Now, there are some fun themes that are in this film, because y'all know I just like to take something deep from a movie, okay? Like, can I just have a mini therapy session in a movie? But I love how we talk about teamwork, especially with Jack's character, how we see that Freddy is like, he has this newfound power and he kind of want to do his own little thing, and he might not want to work with the rest of the family to do it. But also, too, I love that with Billy's character, we get to analyze more of that imposter syndrome. You're given this talent, you're given this power, but sometimes a lot of us can agree that we feel unworthy of what was given to us. And I love that we actually get to explore that with Billy's character as he's trying to figure out how to keep his family together, how to stop people from, you know, breaking up and making sure that they're working as a team. But does he truly feel like he is worthy of this title of champion? So I like that we get to analyze all of those different things within this film. Now, even though I have a lot of things that I did enjoy about the film, I got some issues that we got to talk about. Now, while I love what the villains were giving in the first act of the film, as we get into the second and the third act, it's kind of some opinions change. I just wasn't here for the villains anymore. They became very one-dimensional, very one-note, especially with Lucy Liu's character. I was just kind of like, we know our girl know how to play a villain. And I just felt like from the writing is really one of the biggest issues of Shazam Fury of the Gods, especially when it delves into our villains, but also too into the character development, kind of that emotional impact, which when you watch the first Shazam, as you're looking at, you know, what Billy is going through, you sympathize with him. Like, he has had a rough childhood. You can see why he has some of the issues of believing that he is worthy enough to be the champion. And it was really those moments where we actually get to spend time and learn more about Billy and what he's been through that made the film so enjoyable. And what I hate is that for Shazam Fury of the Gods, we barely get to see him. He is barely in his own movie. Now, I know what y'all finna say. You finna get them little thumbs, them little fingers to start typing Sharonda. It's called Shazam. But Shazam only works when you get to see the contrast between Shazam and Billy. And because we don't get to see that much of Billy, I felt like it was a huge disservice to Asher Angel, who plays his character. But I also felt like that's why most of the heart was missing out of the film. If it wasn't for Jack's character, Freddy, there's no emotional beats to really make you want to root for these characters. And I think that they have to find a way to balance them because there wasn't enough Billy. At times, I did find Shazam to be a bit much, and at sometimes to come off a tad bit annoying. And that's no diss to Zachary Levi, who I love as a character Shazam. I just think from a writing standpoint, Shazam began to feel very one note. And while he's supposed to deliver most of like kind of the comedy in the film, it just wasn't landing with the audience. It definitely didn't land with me. And that's why I found so many more of the other characters, the secondary characters in the movie, to actually provide the comedy that they thought Shazam was going to be able to deliver. Also too, while we're talking about character development, I'm happy to see my big Shazamlies, okay? But they literally have nothing to do but to fly around and show their powers. Like, we don't really get to see, like, outside of Freddy's character, how is everybody else kind of dealing with their powers? Like, this new power that they have, how do they feel about it? I would have loved to delve into the other characters, especially like, you know, how Darla is handling it, because Darla is like a fan favorite, really just like my favorite. I would have loved to see more from just the bigger Shazamlies, like my bigger Shazam people. I don't know what I'm supposed to call them, big superhero Shazams. Y'all know who I'm talking about, but I just felt like they were just there to be superheroes and nothing else. Like, I just want to know a little bit more because we actually care about not only the young kids, but the big versions of them, the superhero versions of them as well. I do like how they balance making sure that the kids are in it and also too, like the bigger superheroes. I just wish we could have delved a little bit deeper into how they're handling their newfound superhero powers. So, also, too, what I will say, pacing's off. By the time I get to the third act, I was tired, y'all. I said, okay, let's wrap this up, honey. Wrap it up, because it's time to go, because it just wasn't flowing for me. And I think if we actually would have spent this extra time delving into characters that we care about, having more fleshed out villains, having better writing, I think that I would have enjoyed them a little bit. But also, too, after I sat and thought about it, I was like, is my problem really with Shazam? I still do think that the writing has some issues with it. But is it a bigger issue of comic book burnout? And I really want people to just give their response to this in the comment section below. Do you feel as though because all comic book movies have kind of become silly to a certain extent, like a certain point, that we can't really appreciate what a film like Shazam has to offer? Because there's fun moments. Overall, I had fun. My audience was laughing. I was laughing. There's some fun moments that happened in this film. But one of the reasons why I love the first Shazam is because it didn't take itself seriously. It had great emotional beats to it. It found the perfect balance of everything that I'm looking for in a superhero film. And it felt different from what we were actually being given from other Marvel and DC properties. And so because all of our comic book movies have kind of been lacking, if everybody else is going to say it, I'm going to keep it real and say it. I don't know if that's part of the issue too of why some people might not feel like Shazam Fury of the Gods lives up to its predecessor. I would be very interested to know what your thoughts are on that question that I have posed. Let me know in the comment section below what you thought of it. But overall for me, Shazam is fun. Shazam Fury of the Gods is a fun time. It's some fun moments that happen with our characters. I'm still rooting for them. I still want to see them shine. I really hate everything that's kind of going on with how we don't know if we're going to see Shazam in the DCEU. I don't know. I hope that we do get to see more of Billy Batson. I just hope that Billy Batson gets a little bit more to do from a writing standpoint for those emotional beats that we actually need with these films. But I want to see more of Shazam. I do. I had a fun time with this. It's fun for the entire family. I feel like there's something that everybody can get out of this film. So what I would tell you to do with you and your coins, if you just want to see a fun comic book movie, you want to have some good laughs, okay? If you want to just take the whole family, get everybody out the house, I would tell you to pay go see this film in theaters. But those are my thoughts on Shazam Fury of the Gods. As always, my name is Sharana from payorwait. And if you like what you saw today, make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe, share this video with your friends, and make sure you hit the notification bell. And I love you guys 3000. And until I see you again, bye.